guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wasn't actually going to do a video about this collection, but after watching the video that Nike posted as well as reading more about this collection, I just became super interested, and I just feel like the whole design and process behind this collection is really cool and interesting, and I really wanted to share it together with you guys. So the collection we'll be talking about is the Nike Space Hippie Collection, and there are 4 different silhouettes in this drop, and I have all 4 of them to show you guys. So they're just called Space Hippie 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you guys are interested in this drop, hopefully you find this video somewhat useful, and if you haven't already seen that Nike video, I feel like you should definitely go watch it. It's really short, but I think it is really well made and like really concise, and when I watched it I was just like, wow, Nike is so innovative. But I feel like Nike is definitely the pioneer in terms of like sneaker innovation, and sustainability isn't a new thing for them, but this is their latest project, and I feel like they did a really great job. So yeah, let's just get into it. So let's start off with the box first. So this is what the box looks like. So you can see it's very minimal, just plain, and this box is created with repurposed materials, and the ink that they've used is eco-friendly and plant-based. So when you open up the box, you can see that it has the Space Hippie typeface, which I think looks really cool. It sort of has like a very retro kind of vibe, and here it says Nike Transform. And here it says Nike oh my god, I can't say it. And here it says Nike Transformed. Why is it so hard for me to say that? Anyway, this is essentially what the sneaker is about, because it is actually created with trash. All the sneakers in this collection have 3 main elements which are sustainable. So the first one would be the upper of the sneaker, which is created with what they call the space waste yarn. I think the name is so cute. Also, the name Space Hippie is inspired by the idea of a resourceful astronaut living off limited materials in space. So it's kind of like using what you have to create something new. So back to the space waste yarn, it is made up of 25% old t-shirts, 25% textile scraps from their factory floors, and the other 50% is recycled plastic bottles, and that makes up the space waste yarn. And they've woven it to create this knit material on the upper of the sneakers, and I just think that's really cool. So moving on to the midsole of the sneaker, you can see that there's this crater foam, which is what they've called. Obviously everything has a very space themed, and I really like the names of each of the element. You can see that there is this sort of speckled confetti like detail, which I think again aesthetically looks really cool. The reason why we have this effect is because they have included 12% of reground rubber into the foam, and this reground rubber is excess rubber produced in their factories, and they've taken that excess rubber, ground them up, and put them into the foam. And so yeah, I think aesthetically it looks really interesting. I think it gives this very sort of DIY organic kind of look, but I feel like it definitely works really well. And then the last element would be the recycled Zoom X foam, which you can see here when you look at the outsole of the sneaker. You can see this foam peeking through, and it is also in the insole for the Space Hippie 1, 2, and 3. The Zoom X foam is made from leftover scraps from elite performance running shoes like the Vaporfly Next Percent and the Alpha Fly. So somehow they've managed to compress these foam scraps to create the sort of cushioning for these sneakers, and on feet these sneakers are super comfortable. They're very lightweight. I just feel like they've done a really good job with recycling and repurposing materials to create these new silhouettes. So that's pretty much the main 3 elements for all the sneakers in the Space Hippie collection, and now I'm going to go through each of them to give you guys a closer look and hopefully help you decide which silhouette is right for you. So this one here is the Space Hippie 1, and as you guys can see, it looks like a regular low top sneaker. What I'm trying to say is that it's not a mid or a high, like it is a regular sort of sneaker looking silhouette, and it has this multicolored laces, a very like standard lacing system. So the other pair that has laces is the Space Hippie 4. This one is considered like a women's silhouette, but I think all of them come in men's and women's sizing, so it's all definitely unisex. So the Space Hippie 4 is another one that has laces with it, but the difference is that the Space Hippie 4 does not have the Zoom X foam in it, and in hand it does feel a little bit heavier compared to the Space Hippie 1, and I think that's mainly because it lacks the firm and maybe it has more of this midsole material. So I've tried all of them on feet. The only one that I don't have in my size is the Space Hippie 2, which I'll show you guys later on, but they all feel really comfortable on feet and really lightweight. But I'm interested to see how they wear over time, but first impression wise they feel really great on feet. Definitely good for everyday wear. But yeah, back to the Space Hippie 1s and 4s. This would be, I guess, more the conventional like sneaker kind of aesthetic. So what's really interesting about the Space Hippie 4 is that it is the lowest carbon footprint sneaker that Nike has ever made, and so it is really minimal in appearance. But like I mentioned before, this does not have the ZoomX foam in it, so you can see even with the insole, it's just the standard insole, not like the other ones that you see in the 1, 2, and 3. Moving on to Space Hippie 2. This one here is the sort of mid-cut sock-like kind of silhouette. This obviously does not have any lacing system, just like the Space Hippie 3. And you can see that the Space Hippie 3 is cut slightly higher, but they are both sort of like a slip-on sock-like kind of silhouette, and I really like both of these. Even though the sneaker doesn't seem to be like super flexible, on feet they feel really great. Like I mentioned before, it is sort of a mid-cut, and you just have little details like on the front here in the sneaker. You can see there's a number 02 here so that you know that this is the Space Hippie 2s. Initially I was confused with like which one is 1, 2, 3, or 4, but now because I've stared at them for so long I know. But all of them have like a numbering system here so that it is the number of the model of the sneaker. So just like the Space Hippie 1 and 3, it does have the ZoomX foam, which you can see is exposed here when you look at the outsole of the sneaker. And I just feel like the knit on this is really soft. It's slightly thicker compared to the other ones. On the side of the sneaker, it is a little bit more firm because they've reinforced it on the inside to give more structure to the sneaker when you wear it. So next up, we have the Space Hippie 3, which is my favorite out of the 4 because I think aesthetically it just looks a lot more interesting. Now, I definitely think all this extra like tabs and string is just sort of an aesthetic kind of aspect to the sneaker. I don't think it actually adds to the functionality of the sneaker. Just like the Space Hippie 1 and 2, it feels very lightweight and comfortable on feet. With the upper of the Space Hippie 3, it doesn't feel as thick or soft as the Space Hippie 2, but it's definitely constructed in a way where it still feels really good on feet, and it kind of reminds me a bit of a Balenciaga Speed Trainer kind of material. And yeah, I think it looks really good. I really like the swoosh embroidery on the center front of the sneaker and all the other like pull tab detail, which again is just like an aesthetic kind of element. I think it works great, and I just feel like it looks really unique. And obviously there's a lot going on in this sneaker, but I really like how it looks and the color combination. Again, it has a ZoomX foam. Really comfortable. Love these a lot. And then yeah, I've already spoken about the Space Hippie 4, which is personally for me my least favorite out of the Space Hippie collection. If I'm not mistaken, this does come in a different colorway, and based on the photos, I feel like that colorway looks a little bit better compared to this one here. Now in terms of sizing, I have this in a men's US 7 and my true to size is a men's US 6. And I would say that this actually fits quite good, but there is a little bit of room lengthwise for these. So my perfect fit will probably be a 6.5. So yeah, I think they're either true to size if you like a really snug fit, or you could go half a size up if you want a little bit more room, which is how I like my sneakers to fit anyway. For the Space Hippie 2, because this is an 8.5, this is way too big. So I'm not really sure in terms of fit, but based on the fit of the Space Hippie 3 and 4, I want to say that this collection fits true to size. Hopefully that is somewhat helpful. With this Space Hippie 4, I have this in a US 7.5, which is my true to size, and it fits perfectly. So 4 is definitely true to size. With the 3s, I would go half a size up personally, but I feel like even if you went true to size, that should be fine. So based on that, because this one here I have in a men's 7.5, obviously it's a little bit too big for me, and then this one is way too big for me. This is a men's 8.5. But yeah, like I mentioned before, I think it is safe to say they all fit true to size. I also forgot to mention that the sneakers come with this little tote bag, which is sort of kind of translucent, and it has the Space Hippie branding on it, and I'm pretty sure this is made out of that same space waist yarn, and I think it's really cute. You can just keep your sneakers in here. You could go buy groceries. So yeah guys, that is the Space Hippie collection, and I think Nike did a really great job, and I'll link some articles down below in case you guys want to learn more about this collection, because I don't think I covered a lot of the more technical things. Obviously this sneaker has been 2 years in the making, and it's like a lot of innovation, and I just think it's really cool, and that is why I wanted to share it on my channel. I know there's probably no hype around this drop. Like I mentioned before, the Space Hippie 3 is definitely my favorite out of the 4 because I feel like just aesthetically there's a lot more happening, but I think they're all great in their own way, and really depends on, I guess, what you like in terms of like sneaker styles. But yeah, the 3 for me is where it's at. I will also list all the release details and retail prices for all of these sneakers in the description bar below, so you guys can check it out if you're interested. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if you'll be copying a pair of these and what you think about them. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye! Oh. Guys, I started filming and I didn't even turn the mic on, and luckily I remembered, or else I'm gonna be so mad if I did the whole video without having the mic on. But anyway, but after watching Nike's video and reading a lot more about this, I guess, collection, this range, this initiative, this shoe. So this Space Yace, what? Made up of 25% old t-shirts, 25% space 25% old t-shirts, 25% space. Why do I keep wanting to say space scratch? Ah! Do I look tired, guys? I feel really tired. I woke up extra early today to film this video, but then I don't know what I've been doing all morning, because now it's not even that early. It's 9:30. I just got done filming, so I think that's fine. Hopefully the footage turned out fine. Also, I got my hair did recently.